Hey everyone, welcome back. So this is going to be basically the first video of my horror collection. So yeah, these are the shelf/collection videos that when I put a poll out a little while back, that was the most popular thing that came back on the poll. Like, people wanted to see what's on the shelves. So I've done these previously, like quite a while back on the channel, where I've just literally put the camera against the channel and slid them all out sort of one by one. One that kills your arms, because your arms are up in the air for like 20 minutes at a go, and yeah, not great. So I thought I'm going to do it slightly different this time. I'm going to take them all off the shelf and just go through them one by one. A very brief kind of like, you know, how much I like it. You're going to hear that a lot, I'm sure, because obviously this is my collection, so these are why I picked them up. So apologies in advance for that, but yeah, the idea is I'm going to go through them. I'm going to start with my horror collection. So this wall here, if anyone is newer to the channel, doesn't know the setup I've got, all my horror titles that I've seen I've put on this wall here. That goes right from the top of the ceiling basically down to the ground. And then behind me on this side is all my sort of non-horror, or you could argue some would be horror, but what I generally class as non-horror, just movies that I love to rewatch. Doesn't have to be good movies, don't have to be bad movies, it could be any type of movie that I just, as long as it's got a good rewatch for me, it's up on that wall. So I'm going to kick off with the horror today. So I've pulled down, I'm going to do it by how they are on the shelf. So how I've got my horror currently set up, I set this up I think last year, maybe the year before, I don't know, time goes so quick. But I've basically sorted them all into decade. So I've got, with horror, I don't know why, but I just, there's, if I'm in a mood for a type of horror, it's generally a type of decade of horror. I don't know if anyone else has that. So like, I might fancy like watching some horror, but I want to see like an 80s horror where there's like practical effects, lots of goo and gore, and I know what I'm in for. The aesthetic of the film is going to be a certain way. Also, I have a soft spot there for like 2000s horror, early 2000s, so I want to have all those in a row. So that's why I decided to do it like that. Now we're kind of caught up on why and how we've set up this the system. I'll stop the waffling and crack on. So what we're going to do now is go through. I've got very little in terms of the 70s movies or before the 70s. So I've kind of haven't really got a section. These are just the first little stack here are going to be before the 70s. There'll be various years. I'm not going to go for every single one. Then we got to like the 70s, which I've got prepared on the desk here beside me, and I'll go through those individually as well. Again, not a massive selection of 70s movies. Now, my key hotspots here for me personally, I think, would be the 80s and, like I say, the early 2000s, so, and maybe mid 2000s. So that's where you'll see the most of my collection, I think, in terms of horror. But so there'll be slightly longer videos. This should be a slightly shorter video based on the amount of titles I have in this decade. Hope that all makes sense. Let's go for it. So the first one to kick us off is the Monsters, Universal Monsters classic films. So in there you've got Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. So I've seen the majority of these. I haven't seen every single one of these. I lose track of what I haven't seen. I've definitely seen The Creature from the Black Lagoon because that's currently my favourite out of all of these ones. I picked this set up really dirt cheap somewhere secondhand, so it's a little bit tatty around the edges, but it cost me about £4 or something secondhand, and it came with all the goodies inside. So yeah, I won't get them all out. This isn't an unboxing video, but yeah, really good set. Really happy to have it because, you know, if you go into horror, you've got to get some classics in there, right? So yeah, there's 8 original classics in HD. So talking of classic horror, this one here is a Criterion release of The Blob. So this one is one I've seen and I will probably go back to. I probably respect it more than I enjoy it, but yeah. I'm a massive fan of the 80s Blob movie, so, you know, that one I would watch any single time over the top of this one personally, but that's just my taste. The next one here is an import box set, which I just, as soon as I saw the artwork on this, I was absolutely like in 100%, and that is the Fly box set. So some of these box sets obviously will have movies that aren't in pre the decade they're in, basically, or if I've got a box set of, like, let's say, Chucky movies, some of them will be in some decade, some of them will be in another decade. I've just put them where the majority, when I think of them, will sit. So that's the same with this one. So this one is the Fly box set, stunning artwork on there. This is, I think, a Scream Factory or Shout Factory one that they did years ago. Yeah, I got this one again on, I think, eBay years and years back. So in here you've got the original Fly, you've got the, what was that one, Return of the Fly, The Curse of the Fly, then the 80s Fly, and the Fly 2. So yeah, really big fan of the 80s Fly. 80s, like I said, this is my genre, my decade. But yeah, really respect these ones. I think I've definitely seen the first one. I think I've seen the second one as well. I think I need to get to the Curse of the Fly. But yeah, really, really nice set there. Really good artwork. So because it's got the original in there, I thought I'd put that set pre-70s because that's the one I need to still check out. The third one, not the first one. Now this one here is an indicator set that I picked up. It's a limited edition set here of the movie Night of the Demon. So yeah, I know my friend Joffrey Noodle Legs, he was desperate to get his hands on this limited edition set. I promise you, pal, I've been looking out in my CEXs, and the day I spot one, I will be in touch with you if I can pick it up for you, mate. But the ones I've been into so far, they've all been the standard edition. It doesn't differentiate on the CEX app when you see it in stock. So I'm on the lookout, pal, and I will let you know if I spot one. But yeah, pick this one up for like pennies, basically, because it was so cheap on CEX. Like I say, you can get this one dirt cheap, but it comes with a really nice booklet, poster in there, everything. Still had the slip J card on it as well. But the reason I've got this one, now I go to a horror festival, horror convention, what you want to call it, like a local one to me every year, and this was playing there 1 year, and I'll be honest, when I saw black and white horror out of my comfort zones of decades, so well out of the 80s, I just thought this ain't going to be for me, but I was pleasantly surprised. So I put this, or they put this on the screen and watching it with an audience. Yeah, really enjoyed this one. Yeah, just the atmosphere in this was amazing. So really glad I checked it out. Look at that artwork. Stunning. And then you've got one that everyone's going to have in their collection if they're a horror fan, in my opinion, and that is the original Night of the Living Dead. So, yep, still sealed because I've seen this one so many times, but I picked up the Criterion when it went on sale. I don't think many people need to know much more about that. I'm sure everyone knows all about that one. So that little stack is my pre-70s horror movies. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense. Okay, so let's get on to the 70s, which is probably the title of this video, or the main drag for this title for this video here. So my 70s titles kick off with, I'm going to try and do these in roughly alphabetical order, a steelbook of the 70s version of the Amityville Horror. So yeah, I have seen this one, I think, quite well back in the day, to be fair, so I do need a rewatch of it. Yep, steelbook. I only got the steelbook because I think it was £10 or something like that in CEX when I was going past, and that was the only version they had. I'm not a massive steelbook guy normally, but it's quite a nice steelbook, and yeah, it was about the same price as the non-steelbook version, but they just didn't have that in stock. Next one is a film called Beyond the Darkness. So this is one of the 88 films, I think Italian movies. I want to say, oh yeah, Italian collection says right at the top there. Now I get a weird hankering for like Italian, badly dubbed, lots of like red blood gore movies there. Yeah, I don't know, I get a hankering for these every now and again. It's like a little weird subgenre or rabbit hole, Marcus, if you're watching, that I sort of I've dived down many years ago, and there'll just be a few of these scattered through the collection. So yep, that one is one of those badly dubbed, sort of like bizarre Italian, not quite sure if it makes sense, sure it does to someone, movies, Beyond the Darkness. The next one here is David Cronenberg's The Brood. So yeah, my pal in you know, the real life, not in YouTube live, he's a big fan of this one, and yeah, he got me to watch this, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It's one of those ones you kind of got to hang on till the end, in my opinion, until you get the payoff for why this movie is really good. But I'm sure a lot of people would know this one. So yeah, The Brood. And the next one here, another one everyone's going to know. This is Carrie. So obviously everyone knows Carrie. This is the original one from obviously the 70s, hence being the 70s collection video here. Yep, won't spend any more time on that one. Next one, and now this one, I shouldn't like this for some reason. I don't know why I like this. There's something about it and I really like it. I can't put my finger on it. This is Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. This is weird, campy, not that funny, but kind of funny. It is probably the worst, supposedly on IMDb, if you look it up, it's probably the worst rated movie that Bob Clark's done. In his sort of like, especially in his horror trilogy that I picked up the box set for. But in all honesty, it's the one I would want to watch the most out of the three that came in that box set. So yeah, but there we go. I don't know if I can recommend this one. It seems like it's a bit of a wet fish, but I enjoy it. Next one is another classic, Dawn of the Dead. So this is the Arrow window box version, obviously there. So yeah, really good film. Watched this one growing up. Really nice edition. Everyone knows about that one. Next one here is another classic, Exorcist. Obviously a staple in almost anyone's horror collection, I would imagine. This one here, my buddy Bryn over at Horror Hands did a video recently on this one, which is the Green Inferno, aka the, is it Cannibal Holocaust 2, I believe it's the alternative name. That was literally on the cover. I need to read these covers before I start waffling on. But yeah, obviously I picked this up at a 215 because it had the slip. I did already own it, so I have watched this one, but I chopped my original version without the slip into CX and picked this up on a 215 because why wouldn't you for £7.50 with a nice slip cover on like this? Another rabbit hole. So yeah, before we move on from that one, another rabbit hole. I just get normally in the summer when it's really hot and uncomfortable, I love sticking these on and just watching like the sort of like foreign lands, if you like, and people kind of like who shouldn't be in that foreign land just get slowly picked off by the people that are in that land. Yeah, cannibal movies in the summer. I don't know. Anyone else? Next one, another classic, John Carpenter's Halloween. Absolute amazing film. One of my all-time favourite horror movies. I don't think anyone needs to, get any information off of me about this film. Another one here, which I've seen many times, but again, I picked up this as a bargain, so that's why it's still sealed. That is Wes Craven's Hills Have Eyes. So yeah, I quite like this film. It's universally, I think, pretty much people find that the remake is the rare occasion where this is the remake is slightly better. But personal opinion. I'm sure there's other people out there that would disagree, but that seems to be the most common opinion. Now, this one is one, again, speaking of Bryn, so Bryn over at Horror Hands recommended me this one years ago, and I didn't look back. That was amazing. Appreciate that recommendation there, mate. The Incredible Melting Man. So yeah, lots of gore and goo and just like daftness, which is all I want from a horror movie. Daftness, gore, goo. What else could you ask for? Now, this one is an American import because it's the uncut version. If I can get an uncut version, I will want the uncut version over a cut version of I Spit on Your Grave. So, yep, that is the American version, which I say gets the whole movie in there rather than the trimmed down version we keep getting punched out onto the UK market. Next one we got is The Last House on the Left. So these are basically these ones I watched because when I hit my teens, these were notorious. They were coming out as sort of like slightly uncut versions or longer versions, or maybe sometimes in some cases uncut versions. They had all this controversy about them. So as a teenager, the first thing you want to do is find out why. And yeah, I grew to like it. It's a bit like your first beer. You don't really enjoy it the first time, but as you watch it more and more or drink more and more, it grows on you, and then you quite like them. Another one of my rabbit holes and a dreaded cover reprint. Yeah, I don't know if I quite realised this when I picked it up, but it was dirt cheap. It was like £6. And I actually quite like this movie. So Man from Deep River. It doesn't bother me too much as a cover reprint because I see the spine most of the time, and I'm not that worried. I wouldn't want it on all my collection, but the odd one here and there, whoa, I'm not too worried. Next one is another 215. Maybe I got this with the Cannibal Holocaust 2, maybe, I can't remember. But that is another one here, which is a shameless release of Mountain of the Cannibal God. I think this one has an alternative title as well, but I have seen this one. Again, I just upgraded this one. I say upgraded. I sold my copy for more than what I paid for this brand new sealed one, so I just traded the old version in and got a nice new sealed one. We're about halfway through on the 70s movies here, guys. So next one is another one that's grown on me. Every time I watch it, it grows on me more and more. And that is the Joe Dante's Piranha. So this is the 4K from Scream Factory. Yep, really nice slip and a protector there. So I have watched this quite a few times. I saw this one at my horror festivals that I go to as well on the big screen, which made me want the 4K even more because the 4K that they screened on that one looked absolutely stunning. Next one I've got is Rabid. So yeah, I do quite like a bit of early David Cronenberg's movies. Again, I think everyone probably would know about early David Cronenberg who's watching this video, so I won't bore anyone to death with that. Following that up with Shivers, so another early David Cronenberg movie there. So yeah, I quite enjoy these. They're not ones I watch over and over, but they are ones that I do want in the collection. Another one of these shameless releases, The Strange Wrath of Mrs. Worth. I'm not even sure if I've butchered that one to death, but there we go, I'm sure you can correct me. Again, I've had these before, and I end up just selling them on because I get uncertain about if I want them in the collection, and then they come up on this crazy deal for 2 for $15, and I think I'm gonna watch them at some point. I'll pick them back up to make the offer. So that's why some of these are still sealed. Next one is a movie called Straw Dogs. So this one I think is currently quite hard to get in the UK, and it's quite expensive to get. So yeah, I was glad to pick this up quite a few years ago before it skyrocketed in price. But yeah, this one obviously you've got Dustin Hoffman in this one as an early role. This is the 40th anniversary edition. I have only seen it I think the once back in the day when I was a teenager, so I do need to go back and watch this again. It's a good reason to do these videos, just to refresh your memory of what you got. Now this is a double up, so I don't have many double ups, but this is one double up I've got here. So this is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. I absolutely love this film. I had this Blu-ray version from Second Sight, I think it is, for quite a few years, and it's always done me really well. And then they brought out the Chunky Boy, so I had to, being such a fan of it, I just, you know, it's quite, nowadays it's rarer that I pull the trigger on something that's a bit of blue tube bingo for you there. If you cross off, I said pull the trigger, feel free to cross it off your bingo list. Yeah, so this one here is the Chunky box set that they did from Second Sight. Absolutely stunning. It looks like it's still sealed, but it's not. I just carefully undone the side. Yep, watch the 4K, it looks great. So yeah, everyone knows about that one as well. This one is, you could argue by the title, it's probably not a thriller, it's not a horror, it's a thriller. Give the game away there. So that is the movie Thriller, A Cruel Picture. But yeah, I mean, there's horrific scenes in this. Probably got one of the best / worst, depending on your view on it, eye trauma scenes that I've ever seen in a film. And I've seen some. So this one really kind of made me like pretty much almost look away. So yeah, really nice box set. They imported this in. This is for 4K editions. Super nice spot gloss on these individual slip-cased Vinegar Syndrome tiles. That is Thriller. This one was a Second Sight, which I picked up I think for £6 in CEX, which is When a Stranger Calls. Yep, really impressed with this one. I saw the remake, the 2000s, mid-2000s remake I think they brought out, which I didn't mind. I thought it was quite good, but I was a teenager at the time, so it was aimed at my market. And this is what I do like about the remakes of the 2000s. I've said this before on the channel, like they kind of they give people of that era like the knowledge or the kind of taster to go back and then find out where they were based on once they realise it's not the original version. And this is what happened with me, and I now enjoy this movie based on watching the 2001, which I'm sure a lot of people will kind of poo-poo. But there we go. Last couple of films here. So this one here is the final cut, apparently, of The Wicker Man. So apparently there will never be another different cut of this version. This is the final cut. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. Yeah, really nice boxed edition this, or slip box edition here. 3-disc set. I don't know what's got in here actually. So I've got the UK theatrical cut, I've got the soundtrack, and I've got the final cut with a load of special features. So there we go. Not too. Oh, that's, I was going to do another bit of blue tube bingo there, where you kind of whack something in front of the camera and it doesn't focus, and you say, oh, you can have a look at all those features, and you can't see jack all. But I think that was quite sharp. So you know, there we go. That's The Wicker Man. And the last one in here from the 70s, at least I believe it's from the 70s, unless I've miscalculated this somewhere, but I'm pretty sure that is the movie Zombie. So yeah, I've got this edition, again cheap on eBay somewhere, 2-disc Ultimate Edition, Lucio Fulci's Zombie. So yep, Blue Underground title there to finish of Zombie from Lucio Fulci. So that's it. That is my 70s and pre-70s horror video. I've got obviously 80s to come, 90s to come, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, and then we'll be up to date on those. I've also got videos to do on these shelves, which are my rewatch titles. I think I'll do these ones in alphabetical, so what I'll do is probably just grab all the A's and do a video about A's rather than do shelf by shelf by shelf, because no one knows what that shelf is. So if I do all the A's together, then all the B's, then all the C's, and so on and so on and so on. Some videos will be long, some videos will be short, some I'll put together. But yeah, that's the plan going forward. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for the poll, anyone who voted on the poll to get these videos out, because that kind of like made me realise that's the priority that people want to see. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Look out for the next one. Don't know when it'll be, but keep an eye on the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.